The mall wasn't supposed to be open. That's the first thing I noticed. It was past 9 at night, and every store in town closes by 8, especially on weekdays. I only pulled into the parking lot because my phone had died, and I desperately needed to buy a charger. But there it was. All the lights were on. The automatic doors slid open as if expecting someone. The big glowing mall sign hummed softly in the dark. The parking lot was completely empty, not a single car. I just sat there for a full minute, with my engine running, staring at the entrance. Something about the place paused, like it was just waiting for me to notice it. I should have driven away. Instead, I got out and went inside. The air was cold, too cold. Then the smell hit me, a mix of strong cleaner, old carpet, and something faintly metallic underneath it all. Every light was on. Every single store gate was raised. The food court menus glowed, bright and cheerful. But there were no people, no music, no voices. Just the sound of my own footsteps echoing through the vast, open space. At first, I thought maybe it was for some kind of overnight maintenance crew. Then I noticed the escalators. They were running, but they were empty, just gliding up and down into nothing. I walked past a clothing store. Mannequins stood in stiff, perfect poses, dressed in bright summer outfits under the harsh white lights. I glanced at one, and then I froze. Its head wasn't facing the window like it should have been. It was turned toward the walkway, turned toward me. I told myself it was nothing, just a trick of perspective, and I kept walking. The further I went into the mall, the quieter it felt, like the building itself was absorbing all the sound. My footsteps became duller. The hum of the lights seemed to fade away. I passed the big fountain in the center court. The water wasn't moving. It was frozen mid-splash, perfectly still, like a photograph. That's when I saw the first real sign that something was wrong. A directory map stood near the fountain. Someone had written across it in thick, black marker, "Do not stay after closing." My heart started pounding. I pulled out my phone. Still dead. No signal. No flashlight. I turned around, intending to leave, but the entrance I had come through was gone. Not closed. Just gone. There was just a blank wall where the door should have been. That's when I finally realized the mall hadn't stayed open. I had stayed too late. The lights flickered, just once, and in that brief moment of darkness, I heard breathing. It wasn't close, but it felt like it was everywhere, like the building itself was inhaling. I started moving faster, heading toward the food court. The air there was thick with the smell of old grease and stale sweetness. Trays sat on tables like people had just gotten up and walked away. There were half-eaten meals, drinks with ice still floating in the cups. I passed a fast food counter and stopped dead in my tracks. Behind it stood an employee, motionless. Her eyes were wide open, and her skin was a pale, waxy gray. Her mouth was stretched into a smile that didn't belong on a living face. They weren't mannequins. They were people. Every store had them, standing, sitting, frozen mid-task. A cashier with her hand hovering over a register key. A janitor gripping a mop, his eyes locked forward. A security guard slumped in a chair near a shoe store, his jaw hanging open. None of them were breathing, but all of them were aware. I knew that because as I walked past, their eyes followed me. Then I heard it. A soft clicking noise from somewhere behind me, like plastic joints shifting. Something had moved. Not fast, carefully. I didn't dare turn around. I just started walking, then jogging. Then I broke into a full-on run. The mall directory sign flickered again. New text scrolled across the digital screen. "Welcome back." And right underneath it, my name appeared. I screamed. At that moment, all the main lights shut off, plunging the mall into the dim red glow of emergency lighting. Store gates began to slam shut, one by one, the crash of metal on the floor echoing like prison doors. The breathing grew louder, closer. I saw a restroom sign and ducked inside, locking myself in a stall, my hands shaking so badly I could barely stand. That's when I heard the footsteps, dragging, uncoordinated. They stopped right outside my stall door. A voice whispered through the thin metal. It sounded empty, layered, like many voices speaking at once. The mall remembers you. The door rattled violently, then stopped. Silence. After what felt like an eternity, curiosity, or maybe just pure stupidity, got the better of me. I peeked out. The restroom was empty. But on the mirror, written in the fog from my own breath, words were slowly forming, letter by letter. You left last time. I don't remember being there before, but my body did. A wave of nausea hit me, followed by flashes of memory running, hiding, screaming, doors locking, and standing very, very still for a very, very long time. Suddenly, the mall lights snapped back to full brightness. Cheerful, upbeat music started playing, the kind you hear during holiday sales. The store gates rolled back up, and the people, they started moving again, talking, laughing, shopping, alive, almost too alive. A woman rushed past me, smiling warmly. "Closing soon," she said pleasantly. "Better hurry." I stumbled backward, but no one noticed. No one except the mannequins. In every store window, they were all facing me now. The exit doors had reappeared at the far end of the hall. I ran. I burst through them into the cold night air and collapsed onto the pavement, gasping for breath. Behind me, the mall went dark, silent, abandoned. I thought it was over. Until the next day, I checked my phone, which was now charged. There was a notification from an unfamiliar app. Mall Rewards Program. "Thanks for visiting. You're already enrolled." I deleted it. It came back. Now, every single night, at exactly 9 p.m., I get the same reminder. We close soon. And sometimes, when I'm alone, I can hear the music, playing softly, from somewhere very far away. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.